I've experienced every downfall, losing accounts, not being profitable. I knew I was going to lose money. I think challenges are a good way to build profitability.
Hi, Andrew. Pleased to meet you. How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me in the FundedNext
no worries.
interview.
No, thanks for taking the time to do the interview for us. Some people might know you, some people maybe not. So if you could introduce yourself to the community, tell us a bit about your history, your journey in trading, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Andrew. I'm from Romania, Bucharest. I'm 24, about to turn 35 in like 2 months. And I've been trading for 6 years. So ever since I turned 18, I kind of dived into trading, personal accounts. And then I was one of the first funded traders, I guess, when FTMO came in, and then Funding Talent came in, my forex funds and all of those companies. And at this point, I'm currently funded with around 6.2 million across basically all the prop firms. So I think that's the most anyone has gotten, and obviously including FundedNext.
Cool. How do you find FundedNext in comparison to the others?
I think the only difference between prop firms is really the support that you get, the how fast the payout gets sent, and the trading conditions. And I'm going to be honest here, when I first got the funded accounts, I did have some issues with slippage, but that got fixed very fast, and I was surprised because usually when I get funded with the prop firm and I get slippage and all of that, they blame it on the broker, whatever. But they did fix it for me, so I had no issues since then. And obviously I was very profitable, and I love the fact that they introduced the 24-hour payouts. So I just request, get a payout, and the account gets reset instantly, and I think that's the way it should be. So I'm very, very happy with them.
Good, glad you're here. Glad you're happy with the experience. So I'm assuming you're a FX trader by the logo in the corner. So what do you trade?
NFX trading. So I trade EURUSD, GBPUSD, and gold. So mainly dollar pairs. When I first started trading, I traded only gold. So that was the first pair I kind of got into. And then after COVID, the markets shifted a bit, and then I got into EURUSD, and basically I use GBPUSD as a alternative, sometimes even AUDUSD. So when I have a setup on, let's say, a dollar, I know dollar is going to go bullish, so I want to short either EU and GU. Sometimes, you get a setup on GU while EU has already moved. So it's best to have 2 or 3 alternatives for that potential dollar setup. So that's the main pairs I trade now. Yeah.
Okay, just the 3. Okay, and that's on what are you trading? MT5 with the FundedNext server?
Oh yeah, MT5. I prefer MT5, but I do have some MT4 accounts. But I usually, most of my accounts are now on the trade copier, so I just use MT5. Yeah.
Which trade copier do you use?
So I was using Social Trader tools, and obviously having a large capital, I think I have around 4 million, 4.3 in the actual trade copier. So when I was using Social Trader tools, it was good, but I did have some issues. So I had like some delay sometimes, and once it basically doubled my position on some accounts, which obviously I didn't like. So I switched it to, and now I'm using Traders Connect, which I think it's a bit better and also cheaper.
Traders Connect. Okay. Yeah. Any issues with that when it comes to, obviously, different brokers will have different prices on the same assets? Any issues?
No, not really, because the way I manage the main, let's say, portfolio with the trade copier is I don't use tight stop losses or big lots. I only use 1% risk. Usually on EU, I have 15, maybe 20 pips stop loss. So the difference is not going to be that big. It's just manageable. But I did have some, especially when I was using Social Trader tools. I don't know if it's the tool or the actual trades, but I did have some differences. So on some broker once I took a trade. I think it was NFP or something. And on one prop firm, there was a wick that never existed. And all my accounts were in profit. When I checked that account, basically was a huge wick to the downside, which stopped me out before going into my way. But there's nothing you can do, right?
Well, no, nothing you can do. No, you can close the account.
I mean,
don't use the broker again. But I think they're getting better, aren't they? These prop firms, the brokers they use, the liquidity providers they use they seem to be getting better and better every day.
Especially after my forex funds, I think there's been a lot of changes when it comes to slippage and all of that, which is a good thing for the industry.
For sure. Things are improving for sure. Okay, so tell us a bit about your trading style. How do you trade cable and euro?
So how I trade is very simple. I basically studied everything there is possible to learn, from basic concepts to smart money concepts. I didn't even know they're called smart money concepts when I learned them. I just learned pattern imbalances, what supply demand is, break of structure, stuff like that. And then I basically the whole smart money concepts got very, a big marketing thing, let's call it that. But what I use is just zones. I mark my zones, market structure, timing, which is very important, what day I'm looking to trade, what times I'm looking to trade, and liquidity, waiting for liquidity to be taken always, having my hard time frame targets, and then I just trade along the way with London session and New York session during the kill zones, if you want to call them that, and that's it. It's very simple. I trade very simple, and I use also some kind of Fibonacci retracement just for my areas, let's say, for continuations.
Okay, all right. So would you say you're a day trader then?
Yeah, I'm a day trader. I usually just get in and out during the day. I don't like holding trades overnight because I've had, again, bad experiences. And I'd rather just close them. Usually, sometimes I get mad at myself because I'm not holding the positions longer because I know it's going to be a big trade. But I just close and take my profits, and then if I see a continuation the next day, I just enter again.
Safer that way, isn't it? So how does it, maybe you could show us a screen, make it easier to us explain.
So you can see it, right?
We can see EURUSD on the 1 hour.
So I want to break down this trade, which I also did a breakdown on my YouTube channel, but this was a trade that I also, when I take trades on my main portfolio, I usually just call them out to my members in my group also. So this was a trade on euro that we took, or I closed at around 1-2, and then I re-entered along the way. But the idea is very simple. I look at where market is heading next. So I start from the daily. My objective, first thing I do when I basically try to form a trade idea, is to see where my targets are, my targets for liquidity. And in this case, it was this huge imbalance that was left after this push bullish. So when daily came down to retrace after making that high, we see we kind of reacted from this area. This is a point where I've seen a lot of traders turn bullish on euro, expecting for price to move up. But the thing is, the objective was not completed to come into the imbalance. So after also doing eco lows to build more liquidity, price retraced. We had a couple of news events. So we had NFP and then CPI, and this was NFP. I said I also use a Fibonacci to see the retracement area. So this was my retracement from this push to this low, also the imbalance, my 0.62, 0.7 level. This is NFP, so NFP wicked down. I was expecting it to come deeper into that imbalance, and then so I can look for buys. But when I saw it established equal lows, I just knew it's just another trap, right?
Inducement,
yeah, exactly. And then it took the high again, induced the high. Everyone started panicking, started buying here, which was a great move towards the high again. But I've seen this move. This is a very good thing that made me a profitable trader. Was I have a very good memory. So I've seen this play out a lot of times during NFP CPI news on euro, especially when you have a push down and then price fails to break, it just ranges, and then it usually continues to the direction it's going. And this entry was on in CPI pre-CPI. I was expecting this high to be taken before going down. Also, it was the 1.10 level, so another bit of confluence there. My targets, usually I target after 1 to 1, I put break even. 1 to 2, I usually take 80% off, and then if I see it continue, I just let it run. My final target was, of course, this imbalance, which got hit yesterday. And the entry is very, very easy. A lot of people ask me what time frames they use to enter and stuff like that. I don't think it matters. It's just when you see price coming into your area where you want to take the entry, just take it. Based on my data, I knew that CPI, because as I said, this trade was taken before news.
So you trade before news, yeah?
Sometimes when I see the setup, yeah, because I know that during a week, so I was expecting this move down the entire week since Monday, but I just knew, like, look, Thursday we're gonna have CPI, so that's when the market's probably gonna move, right? So I didn't trade from Monday to Wednesday, and on Thursday I took the setup on basically my main portfolio, just one trade for the week, which got me around 2%. So that's why, you know, I just know that news are gonna move the market in the direction it wants to go, usually. So it made sense, right? Because it gave the trap. So if we go down on the lower time frames, London Open pushed price down. So this was a nice trap for early sellers, because when price retraced, everyone started entering here.
Yeah.
And then they got waked out. I see this stuff every time, right? So that's why.
So you got a fake swing.
It was a very easy. It was a very easy setup. And if you look at data, again, people don't want to put the work in, but I've analyzed CPI and NFP news all, I don't know, for the last 3-4 years, and every time when I see, okay, there is news at 3:30 my time, when the price is coming towards my entry point with the higher time frame bias, you know, just 10 minutes before news, it's just gonna go in that direction, right? So it's very basic. And I was waiting, as I said, that high to be taken, but price wasn't really coming in. It took this just before news, so that's when I executed trade. Based on my data, the usual spike is around 10-15 pips on you, so I just ran a 25 pip stop loss to be safe. And it wicked right into my 1.10 level very perfectly, and then basically dropped straight to 1-2, and then I just closed the trade. It retraced, the perfect retracement after news. Got some more trades here, the other accounts, and basically the whole idea played out towards the final TP, which kind of moved very hard, and it moved during Asia session with the bank already and everything. But the overall idea was very simple, based from daily all the way to 1 hour. Yeah, it's very basic stuff. And now, as I said, on EU, I'm probably expecting another low to be made, and then we could start to see the potential pullback, and then maybe even continuing the weekly, daily bullish pressure. You know, so it's just the way I like to trade is set up a trade idea like I showed you for the week, for the month maybe, and then just take trades until we reach that objective, and then wait, you know, for the market shift and go towards the next objective. So it's very, very simple stuff.
Okay, so higher time frame objectives, either imbalances or some kind of liquidity pool, failure swing, and then you're looking for some kind of data event to produce a run on opposing liquidity, maybe.
I don't always look for news, but if I know that price needs to move towards that direction, and I know, okay, this week we have CPI, which is a volatile event, that's when price is probably going to move, right? It's just it's not going to move Monday or Tuesday. It's going to move Thursday when there's news. Until then, it's just going to gather liquidity. So, but I've noticed during the last maybe few months, trades have been very clean, and they only moved with news events, which kind of sucks, right? But it is what it is.
Well, it's nice in a way, because we know when news is going to be. It's scheduled, isn't it? So it makes trading nice in a way, because we can schedule our trading around that. So
that's the thing I always say. Let's say you have, because on a funded account you can risk 10%, right? You have 10 bullets if you risk 1% or whatever. For the week, let's say you have, or for the day, you only want to take one trade, risk 1%. Or for the week, I'd rather just risk it when there's volatility than just be stuck in a bad trade or in a range, right? Because before I was making this mistake where I knew price was gonna go down, but I would try to enter, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then be stuck in a drawdown, have a big stop loss, maybe even get stopped out or close to daily drawdown, you know, before price moving. So that's when I learned, patience is way better, and this was very good trading.
So just talk through the actual, I mean, I understand why you're looking for a short once that high has been taken. Are you refining that entry on a lower time frame? Are you looking to the left? Are you looking for imbalances? Because I mean, I see how you've marked out that range from high to low, and you've obviously the imbalances there on that time frame, on this particular frame are fitting in quite nicely with 62 to 70, etc., OTE kind of stuff. So, but are you refining your entry to those imbalances on this 15-minute chart or 5-minute chart? Are you going that far?
No, not really. No, I just, when I have a bigger move happening, I just enter. If I'm watching the lower time frame, so let's say for example yesterday, I took sales here because price started to move down with Asia, big volatility coming in. So in this example, I kind of go down on the lower time frames because I don't have a very good stop loss. So I can take small time frame entries. So again, but again, it's about timing. I was waiting for London Open. So when London spiked up, I basically just kind of entered here and I ran I think it was around 12 pip stop loss and just aim for a 1 to 2 and that's it. But I can trade the 1 minute, I can trade even the second time frames because I've learned it, But now basically the 1 minute was very clean. Just retest with London Open, wick up with this candle, and then just continuation for the overall idea that I had, right? And even New York here was kind of, but again, we kind of already touched the objective, so I'm not really looking to take additional sells here because this is an area where we can see we can see a potential reversal. So at this moment I'm just waiting. I don't have any
is that a moving average I see on your screen?
So this is the I use it on the daily time frame. I think it's the 100 EMA. One of my friends showed me this, and basically I just look it for the overall bias in addition with like the it's like this indicator. I sometimes use it, so when I see that price is above the EMA and we are in a strong buy, so the arrow is right to the right, I'm just looking for continuations for buys basically. Now because this is like
what's that? I've never seen that. What's that?
Oh, this is integrated in TradingView. It gathers data from the brokers.
So like a sentiment indicator.
Yeah, exactly, the sentiment. Right. So now the sentiment is a little bit in the sell side. Price is still above, but it can easily like break below it, and then this is gonna be a strong sell, and then I can start looking for sells with that. But it's just a great small confluence, I guess.
Right.
But if I can add one thing, before I wasn't using this, and now since I added it, I get so many messages like asking me what's that indicator, what email are you using, how are you using it. People always look, for the secret thing, which
there is no secret, is there? But
it's just a confluence, right? But it's funny.
Exactly. Sentiments have been around for a long time, but I guess as long as the data is accurate, I suppose, then the indicator's accurate, but I guess there's no way of proving that, is there? But so just talk us through the time that you would have entered that trade at the high there.
Here?
The short from the high when it took out that.
So I took it, as I said, just when price came.
Interested to see what the model you're using to get into that short there. What are you looking for exactly on that?
Here, so as I said, we had a trap. So I knew that price started to go up. It would probably take this high, 100%, because that's liquidity, and then I was waiting for that NFT high to also be taken.
Yeah.
But price just took this one and then started to basically, this is where I kind of look on the time frames because it's before news.
Yeah.
So when I saw high being taken, I had a bearish reaction, and then price kind of retested and rejected that area. That's when I entered. So there's nothing
before the data event.
Yeah, I entered before. Yeah, I think I entered here. So like 10 minutes before.
Okay, and you were happy to just take the risk that wick wouldn't.
Yeah, of course, because based on my data and all the analysis I did, I was maybe 95% sure it's gonna go short. And based on my data, again, I knew the usual wick is 10-15 pips, so I'd be happy to run a bigger stop loss and then see what happens, right? Because if price wicked down and then started to reverse, I would just close the trade. I mean, my initial sell was I wanted to sell at this level, but it was almost impossible, because that wick was just instantly. So I'm happy to take the risk before the use 100%.
Okay.
But I run a bigger stop loss because I don't want to get slipped, right? Because let's say most people, smart money traders, they would just enter like this.
Yeah.
Which is, it's dumb because you're going to slip like 3%.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're going to enter before a data event, you can't.
Yeah, just run a bigger stop loss. Yeah. run a bigger
wait
stop
till
loss.
after the data event. Yeah.
Yeah, you could have entered after, as I said, because there was a retracement, retracement here until the lows. Yeah. But I was very confident in it, so I'm happy to take the risk.
Yeah. Okay.
No issues with that.
Any other?
Even if I lose like 1 point, let's say I get slipped, I could maybe lose 1.5%. I'm still okay with that.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one more trade just to.
As I said, I had that continuation, and I didn't really. I mean, I took some. I do trades. I take some scalp trades. So as I said, just based on the sessions. I don't remember any other trade that I took. I think I took gold sells inside this area. So at this week here, basically because this was the area, it was the same thing. NFP week. So I also took this. This was on Friday. So I also took gold sells from this area after we got the, let's call it, break of structure to the downside, reaction from the higher time frame, reaction here, and then we had a retest, and then I entered during London Open when we took the Asia high liquidity. So this was around 2058. I don't usually leave my trade marked on the HR, so that's why I always have to put them. But I do have these lines. So I had one entry set up here and then one sell limit at this level. My stop loss was this right here. Okay. And for this I basically aimed for also, I think I closed round 1 to 2, something like that. So again, same very basic stuff. The entry was because my overall idea was also going short based on the 1 hour, 4 hour. I was waiting for price to come back into this range. Also, we had a huge target that we still haven't touched yet. So price was kind of slowing down. Gold is very difficult to trade now, I believe, but once it moves in one direction, it just goes.
yeah, it's horrible pair. I never touch it. No.
Yeah, it just goes. So this was a trade, and then I re-entered the next day. Here we had some news. Here I didn't enter before news because we made a low, but price kind of retraced. So if I draw the retracement from the high to the low, it came right into my area, and I was happy to take the risk. So I took another entry here. I ran like a 50 pip stop loss, and this one I closed at around 1 to 1, which was, it ran for so much, a bit unhappy, but I was very positive on all my accounts, and I didn't want to really, push it.
You can't catch all the runners.
Yeah, it always happens like that when I have a lot of profits on all the accounts. When I have a trade, I just close it so early because I don't want to, push it, and then those trades just run so perfectly. But it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So nothing to do with it.
It's gonna happen. Of course it will. Okay, great. All right. If there was one concept that you could tell everybody about, what would it be to help them with their trading?
One concept, liquidity 100%. Understand where liquidity lies in the market, and use that always when you take your entries. Try to think against the other 99% that participate in the markets, right? Yeah, because they're usually the liquidity. And timing. Understand that there's only gonna be 2 moves happening in a day. So you're gonna have the London move and then the New York move. You're not gonna see London push 40 pips in one direction and retrace and move 50 pips the other direction. So just that.
Okay. I guess gold, euro, probably the 2 most popular pairs that people trade. Would you say New York or London is the better for those 2?
New York, 100%. New York, if you want to catch the cleanest move, New York or after New York. London has not been the same for maybe more than 6 months. I try to avoid trading London but again, I adapted my strategy. So if I take a London trade, I usually just close it very fast, and I run small stop losses. I never enter setups like these this was an exemption because price was in my area. But again, I wasn't expecting London to move. I just wanted that entry. But euro, I usually, if I take a trade like this, I will 100% take it into in New York because I know New York is gonna move. Yeah.
Yeah, The thing with London, you really have to, in my opinion, you have to wait for the data event, and the data event obviously is going to be 8:30 Eastern. So London to me is one of those times where we're really just building up a range or a liquidity.
Yeah, exactly.
So, New York will always be the preferred one. Well, just to wrap up, could you maybe give us some advice for struggling traders out there who are struggling to get funded, who maybe just need just a bit of a tip maybe from you to help?
So I've been through the journey myself. I've experienced every downfall, losing accounts, not being profitable. I've went through it all. My advice is to just go through it. Don't try to escape the pain, that trading causes you, because it's a pain, psychologically, but try to keep your financial pain to the minimum. So that's a thing that really helped me when I started, because I knew I was going to lose money first. So I only invested the money I could afford to lose. And if you're just starting out, because I see people, just going straight to funded accounts without even being profitable. I think challenges are a good way to build profitability. So either go for a small real account to start trading to feel the emotions, or buy a small challenge account and just trade the challenge phase. Try to hit that percentage, because nowadays you don't have a time limit, so it's not really an issue. And also choose the right people to follow, because in the trading space, I think you also know there's a lot of marketers. So this industry is filled with people like that. So just try to choose someone that has good results. That's why I love prop firms, because people that actually make it in the interviews, the leaderboards, have multiple payouts, are profitable. They're actual profitable traders. So you cannot fake that. So people call it affiliation with some prop firms, but if you are profitable with so many prop firms, you cannot be affiliated with all of them. So just try to follow people like that and try to learn from them, and just don't try to rush the process. Don't skip any steps. Go through them all, and then learn from the mistakes, and keep going. Never give up. It's a hard skill to learn. It's very hard. It took me, I think, 3 to 4 years to become very profitable, and then 2 years more to scale to this level, and keep scaling. So it's a long journey, but it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. I think it's one of the best way to make money. The first step, because let's say you want to get to 10k a month or 50k or even 100k, it's very achievable with trading. After that, obviously you're gonna need other sources of income, but I think it's the only skill that is very scalable, because I take the same setup. You saw the EURUSD setup. I take the same setup. I took the same setup on my 100k fund account. I take the same setup on my $6 million, in funding. Exact same setup, exact same risk percentage return, but way more capital and money. So that's a very rare thing that you cannot find in any other business.
No, there isn't. I don't think there's anything else like it. It's the only really scalable industry there is. I mean, you're just completely disconnected to how many hours you put in, how many people you have employed. It's
exactly.
Unique.
It's just you versus the market.
Yeah, it is, and it obviously doesn't rely on the economy of your local area. Wherever you live, you're completely self-reliant on your skills and nothing else.
Because people, if I can add something, people just nowadays it's the most important thing if you want to survive in today's world is to have freedom, because most people look for financial freedom, and then they look for time freedom, and then location freedom, right? Which trading literally gives you all three. It gives you financial freedom, it gives you free time, because at some point you're not going to spend the whole day on the charts, and then it also gives you location freedom. You can go anywhere, right? A war can come in and you just can bounce to another country and live there and still make money, right? You're not dependent to anyone. So it's very strong. It's very strong.
Yeah, we live in to be a trader at this time is great. I mean, we've got
exactly.
So many prop firms. We've got access.
I'm so lucky. I swear to God, I get goosebumps when I think about it. I'm very lucky to be able to make this, and the same as other traders, because if I live in Romania, the whole Ukraine stuff, it's very close by. You can never know what's going to happen, right?
No, sure.
I can just take all my stuff and leave, and can still restart my life somewhere else.
Still make a living, and it's truly is one of the best industries. Just as you say, if you can manage the pain, keep financial loss to a minimum.
Not for everyone.
No, yeah. Okay. Anything that you could help, maybe wise? I mean, the big issue for most people is going to be the pain that comes with those, with the stress and the loss that comes with this, the first maybe couple of years.
Yeah.
Any advice when it comes to managing the mindset, the psychology side of it? How did you manage that?
As I said, don't run from it. Just embrace it. Embrace everything that's happening to you. Understand the human body is very capable, and especially the brain is very capable of switching stuff. I've studied a lot of psychology before I got into trading. So if you feel anxious, or first step is just to understand the feeling, understand what causes the feeling, and then try to change, the thing that causes the feeling. So let's take, for example, overtrading. Overtrading, most people, they struggle with that. What causes overtrading? Maybe it causes the fact that you don't have enough capital, don't make enough money, you just want to make more. But those are not really in your control. What's in your control is the time you spend on the charts. So if you know you have a problem with overtrading, then just stick to your rules to only take 2 trades in your session, and that's it. And that thing itself is gonna boost profitability by a lot, because you're aiming just at the right time, and then it's just the chance of the market, right? And then it's your trading strategy and all of that. But just people try to run away, blame it on others. For me, I just kind of understood every emotion I went through, and I tried to find the cause and either eliminate the cause or change it and use it to my advantage. Yeah, that's it. So,
discipline, really. Discipline.
Be a man,
putting some, Yeah, be a man. Discipline and put some rules in place and just abide by those rules. Yeah, be professional. Yeah, okay. Well, thanks for your time, Andrew. I'll let you get back to trading. Things are going to kick off fairly soon. So
thank you for having me.
Thanks for your time again. And no worries.
I think this was very valuable. Thank you.
Good. All right. See you.
See you. Bye.